As you can see, there's lots of blue sky, and it does appear to be a beautiful day now, but right up until about 10 minutes ago it was pouring with rain. There was such a massive downpour all morning, and of course this bodes very well for the earth, because we're approaching, slowly approaching the autumn equinox, the days of equal day and equal night. Well, the one day. And once that passes, then we are truly on the descent towards Samhain. And of course Mother Earth is now preparing to go to sleep. So there's this wonderful withdrawing back down to the earth. Now you can see the amount of water just cascading through the pond, and it's just amazingly abundant. So much water has the rain was literally falling in sheets of water from the sky. So you can see up there as well the little bits of clearing that I've managed to do in the pond. So it's bringing the sky down into the pond. This is perhaps the best year ever for the berries on the Cotoneaster. There's Jack having a wee paddle. So all in all, there's this incredible harvest going on, and of course keeping very much to the Celtic calendar, you're much more aware of the seasons, because the seasons are dictated, they're put into place by Mother Earth. Despite what you read in calendars, despite what you're told in the media. And I was reading this morning about trees and the seasons that they keep to. And if you start to line up the energies of the trees in accordance with the traversing of the year, Imok, which is round and about the 1st of February, is very much when the trees start to come back into life. Jack is listening and he's watching some guys over across the way. You can just see the yellow trucks through there. I think they're putting in new telegraph poles. So there's quite a lot of noise happening there. So you can hear the water going down in the ditch, and at the same time see some of the beautiful little blackberries there in the hedgerow. That wonderful harvest, that wonderful Lughnasadh harvest. So I'm slowly getting towards getting Jack out for a long walk today. It's been virtually impossible all morning because the rain's been that heavy. And I'm noticing, of course, and over the past few weeks as well, I've been noticing the emergence of mushrooms, little bits of fungi all over the land. And again, that's very telling. It tells of autumn. And before I ventured off for those couple of days, I left on Monday morning, came back sort of fairly late in the day yesterday. But before I ventured off, I noticed that there was quite a lot of signs just suddenly emerging of the autumn. So there's a kind of a coming together now of the change, the great change in the seasons. Because of course this is the second month of Lughnasadh that we're going into. The second trimester. As Lughnasadh will take us all the way through to Samhain. Leaves on the sycamore beginning to colour. It's amazing the noise of civilization. I noticed that when I was away. Constant sort of background noise, which I'm not used to now, because I'm very used to the sounds of nature. These little trees that I planted last winter, they're beginning to colour as well now. This is their first autumn. They've grown very well over the course of the winter. They've grown about, over the course of the summer, they've grown about 2 feet. You can see here, they were waist height when I planted them, and they're now just reaching over my head. It's amazing how quickly it all happens. I'm going to have to wipe the screen. I think I've got some water on it. There, I think that's better. Just taking you into sort of secret places today. And this is where I did so much of the chop and drop around these trees. Much of that will degrade and feed the roots of the trees, so that next spring there'll be very welcome growth on them. And of course here's leaves still on the on the ground from last autumn. And also leaves that have dropped over the course of the hot summer. Just spotted some fungi now, some mushrooms. In fact, it seems to be springing up all over the place. Here we go. And some more in there, underneath the fern. And some more down there. I've just spotted some more. In fact, it seems to be everywhere. Just everywhere. There's some over here as well. You can hear the drip, drip of the rain. I think in many ways, what happens when I begin to film here at Bealtaine is the beginning of like a meditation. When one is forced to slow down. The path is quite puddled here. Just hear me stepping through water. I can hear people, voices in the distance talking, but it's like a blur. Can't really make out what they're saying. The machine's starting up again. And the spring well, just gushing. More fungi, more mushrooms. And now there's such a transformation taking place down here where everything is beginning to die back. The energy's retreating. It's all been brought back down to Mother Earth. The growth has stopped. So I'm just going to leave you with this view now of all the water in the stream, flowing and gushing and moving on its way just steadily downhill. Through the silt pond, further down then into the big lower pond, and then out and moving out towards the River Fairish and the River Shannon and the Atlantic Ocean. Blessings to you all.